One sec. Shit, bro, you hear me? There
Is
we
it
go, bro.
now?
Yeah, I hear you now, bro.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
So, I can barely hear you.
Can barely hear me.
Oh, yeah, I could. It's just I gotta turn the volume up. 1 second.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Okay, cool. I think it should be all good. Chat, let me know if y'all can hear me and everything is clear. But yeah, welcome to the first video. Pretty much just going to be a kind of like an introduction about the channel, about what this is going to be and the type of content I'm going to post. It also is a Q&A. So if you guys have like any questions regarding myself, regarding what's going on in football, soccer, all that stuff, definitely drop all your questions. I see everybody in the chat real quick. Stephanie G, big up. My guy Fanar, that's like my homie right there. Big up. Eli, I did also send you the link, Eli. So if you did want to join, you can also join as well, my bro. And Jake, big up to you. Curry P, big up to you. Hope y'all are doing well. Sasha, big up. Jazz, my guy, big up. Jake Tyler says I need football locks. We will talk about that too. We will get into it as well. But big up, man. Hope y'all are doing good. But yeah, just a little bit of introduction about myself. My name is Shikar, Shik TV. That's the channel name. I'm from Sacramento, California. Just trying to do the thing. Shout out to my brother Flawless at That's Me Flawless. Definitely go subscribe to him. He's the one who inspired me to make a channel in the first place. And yeah, man, just the people. I noticed I'm a regular in his stream, and I'm someone who basically be hopping into chats here and there, and I realize that people actually do give a fuck about what I say, and here we are. So we're gonna see a lot of content regarding like United stuff. I will be dropping another video later as well, which is gonna be like a match preview. I'll let you guys know about that. But this is just like a Q&A, so definitely run all your questions. Let me go to you, Will. How you doing, bro?
No, I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, bro. Happy to be here and excited to see your channel grow, you know?
Hey, appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, bro. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's talk about a couple of things. So obviously, a lot of y'all probably just talked about or just watched the Arsenal Liverpool game, which was a crazy game. I was on the watch along with Flawless on Twitch. We were doing that there with Jez as well, who's also in the chat. What are your thoughts about that game, Will? Talk to me, bro.
I'll be,
I know you. I know
I'll,
you be hating on Arsenal all the time, so I gotta hear what you gotta say, bro.
yo, shit, you got the Arsenal boys crying right now. Big up that. Nah, I'll be real. I missed the game on purpose. I'm not interested in that type of game. So yeah, I got no comments to be honest. So you're gonna have to do the talking for that because I'll be real. I fell asleep after 5 minutes, and then I
Oh
woke
man,
up
I
for the
hear you.
80th.
I mean,
I woke up 80th min. I saw the I saw the first goal. No surprises. Ramsdale's getting dunked on like it's NBA. You know how it is. And the second goal, no, it's expected. No counter attack. And yeah, when you're trying to get that goal back, so you don't get knocked out of the cup again, it makes sense.
yeah,
You know
man.
what I
I mean,
mean?
pretty much like me and Flawless were talking about it, Jez as well. Like Arsenal had a couple of chances in the first half, but I don't know what it is. They had Big Kai Havertz 29 up front. Missed all them chances that he had. Saka was, excuse me, Saka was really really poor today as well. Bukayo Saka, he's been on a really bad like run of form as of late. Don't know what's going on with this lad, but yeah, man. Just I've been saying this too, and Arsenal need to win competitions like this and need to win trophies like this to kind of bring that winning mentality to this young squad that they have right now. And yeah, man, like it's another season, another trophy in the bin. They're already out of the Carabao Cup as well. Premier League is looking slim for them at the moment. And also, all y'all got left is the Champions League. So, hey, we'll see if Arsenal can cook in the Champions League or not. But tough, very, very poor performance. I mean, I thought it was going to be the game started off with a lot of intensity, and the first half was what I'd probably say was like the main part of the game, besides the two goals at the end. But other than that, like both sides, and Nunes as well, just back at it again. Darwin Noodles back at it again with his missing chances and all that stuff. It's looking peak for Arsenal, man. It really, really is. Like I shout out to my guy TJ Warren. Definitely subscribe to his channel as well. That guy was not having it today, bro. I dropped into his live stream and my guy was not having it. I think he ended it early as well. Right when the second goal went in, he was rattled, bro. So shout out my guy TJ Warren every single time. Definitely go subscribe to him. But yeah, man, like that is Arsenal. Uncomfortable conversations need to be had. I think they already were being had, but uncomfortable conversations need to be had. I already know some of y'all in the chat, like my guy Eli right there. He's an Arteta out. He don't like Arteta at all. What needs chat? Let me know like what y'all think about the game as well, and definitely ask like questions and stuff like that too. Moving on from Arsenal, let's go into Chelsea. Obviously you're a big Chelsea fan. That kit looks clean, by the way. A very very nice kit. I thought you were gonna wear your Cole Palmer kit because this guy Will is a Cole Palmer merchant, bro. Always be sending me memes about Cole, not memes, but just like stats and stuff about Cole Palmer and all that. But yeah, man, talk about Chelsea. Talk about the season so far. Ambitions for this year. If y'all think y'all gonna do anything in the transfer window, all of that stuff. Let me
Mm.
know, man.
Firstly, if you want to talk about the game yesterday, I mean, the first half was absolutely dreadful, But as usual, a game of two halves with Chelsea. So turn up in the second half. I mean, look, the performance wasn't the best yet, but 4-0, I can't say so much. Should go to the next round and we move, because there's certain teams in the Prem that obviously haven't made it to the next round. So obviously, I'm just happy. And yeah, the performance, yeah, was pretty average if I'm being honest. Certain players stepping up, certain players scoring goals to cover up their poor performances. Sterling in particular, but yeah, no, overall we just moved. But talking on the season, yes, I don't know what I really think the focus has to be in the cups right now. You gotta go when you're in the semi-final. In the position we are in, like 10th probably. I ain't checked the table in a few months, but I'm guessing we're still 10th. You know how it is. Um, you've got to go for that cup, especially when you got Middlesbrough, man. There's no excuses. If you don't get into the final and have the one-off game versus Liverpool, I'll be extremely, extremely disappointed because that's kind of all we're playing for this season. Like I don't know how it works because if obviously Liverpool going to get top four, does it mean that we get do we get the spot for the Conference League if we lose the final, for example? Do you get it? You know, Sheik.
Well, I want to ask you this real quick because obviously a lot of people don't we're this is the first video on the channel and a lot of people don't know our views on our teams and coaches and stuff like that. Are you Poch in or are you Poch out?
Nah, mate, I'm Poch out.
Why?
Do
Why would you say
you want to
so?
know? Basically, long story short, I think the team we got is underachieving, and I believe it's because of the manager. Personally, I think I'm Poch out, yeah, but like I don't think there's a suitable replacement right now you can get, as in that will come in straight away and make a change. So I reckon you got to hold out for the season, but I'm hoping if the performances don't improve and we don't make to the final, he gets gone. But look, you have a team. You can't be playing four centre backs, man. You got left backs on the bench, yeah, like Matson waiting to get played. Oh yeah, I see he's getting sold now, but I mean, in weeks before, you definitely could have played him. There's no reason why he can't over four CBs. You have Conor Gallagher and Enzo, yeah, both of them playing in the wrong position. You got Conor Gallagher playing as a double pivot with Caicedo, which is clearly not the move. Teams bypass us. He gets bypassed. Has put in the yellow card tackles. That's why you're seeing red cards last game. Oh, not last game. Which game was it? He got a red card like after 30 minutes in a game. It's because he's getting bypassed at CDM. Has to make a tackle. and then you got Enzo who's playing Cam. It's not the thing. He needs to be in the double pivot with Caicedo to move the ball forward because his forward passing is, I think, is something that many rival fans are not looking at. If you look at what he does on the game, the amount of times he passes forwards and not sideways and backwards, it makes a big difference. But yeah, I don't know. Right now I'm Poch out. Hopefully, hopefully he proves me wrong. But from what I've seen so far, yeah, it could be a lot better with us. We haven't seen no improvements, no play style of football
Yeah, I
from last
mean, I
season.
hear
So
you.
yeah,
Couldn't be the worst though, because y'all still in. You still got the Carabao semifinal coming up this Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I'm not pretty sure which one. Like U.S. time for us, but
Tuesday versus Middlesbrough. Tuesday versus
Tuesday
Middlesbrough
versus
away.
Middlesbrough. So hey, a lot of people I've heard a lot, about a lot of people being potch out. Shout out like the regulars on Sarcasm City, Surfer and all them. They don't trust the manager. Shout out Lewis too. Um, but you're still in. Hey, for me personally, it's all about winning trophies. If Poch can get you guys to win a trophy this year, I'm not gonna say that's like a big statement, but that's like you could kind of say that's progress for sure. Having you guys
Yeah,
compete and with the squad that you guys have, I definitely think on paper that you guys should be able to win and these type of competitions. Maybe not the. I don't know about the FA Cup, and that depends on the run that you guys have and the draw that you guys will get, but Middlesbrough should be you guys should be in the final going to Wembley 100%. And you'll probably have Liverpool depending on how their game goes because they play Fulham, I believe. That yeah, that's a final is something that I think you guys would consider progress. To be honest, with the way that y'all started off the season, the problems that you guys had, I think the final is a trophy like a Carabao Cup. I'm shameless, bro. Last year we won the Carabao Cup. I celebrated that shit because we hadn't seen a trophy in like 7 years, and that's what we asked from the coach. And I'm gonna get into all that stuff later too. But yeah, man, Chelsea. Um, I haven't really been watching Chelsea close as I normally as I used to, but I just the coach, all of that stuff, the players that y'all have. It's just I think y'all definitely capable of winning something this year, and I see it as progress, bro. And then next, this summer, there's all these links with Osimhen, and he wants to join the club and all that stuff. Um, he comes into the team, and y'all replace Nico Jackson with him. I think serious team up there, bro. We've talked about this, me and you too, before. I think what our preferred front three was Palmer, uh, Osimhen, and who was the other guy? Mudrick, or what did we say? I forgot what we said. What we talked about. And
no, no,
Cuckoo,
no, no, no.
Cuckoo,
Yeah, not
and
Osimhen. Like personally, like look, I don't know. I've seen a lot of Chelsea boys on the Osimhen thing. Like for me, I'm kind of off it. I'll be real, because like I watched Napoli a bit this season, and like I thought it was a one season thing with the coach they had. I thought the coach was carrying the team with his tactics massively. Because if you look now, sitting in ninth place, and you don't hear a word about what's his name, Kvaratskhelia, and you got Osimhen. Obviously, Osimhen's talked about because he's signing the contracts, getting those release clauses up in the contract, so the clubs can sign him. But look, I'll be real, I don't think he's all that. If I'm being real, I'd rather take Tony as of right now. He's prem proven. He looks like a better footballer, like as a technically he can link up the play. He's got more to his game, and I think Osimhen just looks a bit raw, to be honest. Like I don't know if you watch when we watch the Afcon now. I don't think he'll be doing so much, especially with the qualities he has. I just don't think it matches how we're trying to play. So I'd rather take Tony if I'm being honest. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but ideally my attack right now with the players we have at our club is you run Mudryk on the left, you run Madueke on the right, you run Nkunku down the middle, and then Palmer behind. But I don't see that ever happening with Pochettino. So yeah,
Because you'd rather play Captain Connor, huh? Captain
yeah.
Connor
The
Gallagher.
No, Poch got to build around Connor, mate. Otherwise, he knows he's probably getting sold. So that's how it
True.
is.
True, true, true. I do want to get into some of these comments real quick. My guy Jake said, "Will you ever do other sports?" Hey, that is a thought. Because obviously, me and Will, we watch the NFL and stuff like that a lot. I think you are referring to football because you did also say that in one of the comments right here. I'm going to bring that up. Need to be talking about the real football. Haha. I will be getting into some stuff like that too. It just really depends on how my schedule and stuff goes. Originally, I will be starting off with just soccer content and stuff like that. Also, that's just more of like my field. I'd hate to talk about something that I don't know something entirely about. I right now at this moment just enjoy watching the NFL. They're actually playing. I think they are playing at the moment. Today's the last week before they go into the playoffs. But this channel basically is more so just going to be about soccer and football slash content for the all the UK viewers and stuff like that. But it's something that I will be definitely thinking about in the future. NBA as well. And I don't know if you guys already know this. And shout out to Flawless again. We are going to be starting up a UFC podcast on Sarcasm City Twitch, and I myself. Flawless might be there sometimes. I'm not sure, but Eddie, I'm not sure if you guys know Eddie. Some of y'all probably do in the chat. Eddie is someone also who's going to be there on that channel, and we're going to be basically going through the main cards. We're going to do the watch along for like the main card. I believe Jan 20th is when the next card is. I think it's Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. So that's going to be a great fight because those guys have been beefing like off outside of the UFC and stuff as well. They literally scrapped at a show. That shit was hilarious. I don't know if you remember that, Will, where he told was it Usman who told his family to like step away, and then he just started throwing hands at Duplessis or something like that. But we're
It
gonna be
might have
doing like
been.
stuff like that too. Go ahead.
No, no, it might have been. I've seen a couple videos of fights. I've also seen fights in the crowd and that with him. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it'll be interesting, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of like comments and stuff that they've said towards each other, which honestly I can't really bring up here. Those comments up, but it just all depends on basically that fight's a personal fight for both of them, and I can see that being like I could see that fight going to 5 rounds, but I can also see that fight just ending early because they just literally hate each other. Yes, you can be like, yeah, it's all about promo, and they're all trying to bring up the hype around the fight because a lot of other fights I don't think have been announced on that card yet, which is still strange because we're Jan 7th and it's only like 2 weeks away. But regarding that fight, yeah, man, that's gonna be a great fight. Definitely check us out on Sarcasm City Twitch for that watch along. I myself and Eddie will be there once again. But let me get into some of these other comments as well. We've got my mom supporting. She's literally in the other room. She wrote good luck, so I appreciate you, mom. And then you got my dad as well, also talking about congratulations and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate you. I wouldn't be here, doing all this stuff without your guys' support. So definitely shout out to all you guys for that as well. Got a lot of other people in my family too. Big up TJ. I was literally talking about you, my guy. What was that game, bro? That game was oh man. I mean you're probably gonna be in the Sarcasm City Q&A on YouTube later on today. I think it's like I don't know what time, but we will definitely be hearing your thoughts about that, TJ. 100%. I was even in your watch along too, but I realized that you ended it early. So we'll definitely be talking about stuff like that. But let's get into a little bit about United, right? So everybody already knows how our season has been going this year. Everybody, if y'all, I mean, for the new viewers who are tuning in, I will kind of give my thoughts about the season so far. I did want to say this guy, Ten Hag, is just not the guy, bro. We had a great season last year. I'm not gonna lie. Our the whole objective was to basically, at least try to get into the top four. And I'm talking about last year, but at least get into like the top four, try to win some sort of trophy. We did reach two finals. We reached the final of the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, did finish top four. Our form towards the end of the season, basically at the start of like around 2023, we were, I guess you can say kind of seeing like red flags about this manager. But then this summer is just where this guy completely took a whole U-turn on what we were trying to do and what we were trying to achieve. It starts from his talent ID, the signings that he's made, the type of football that he's trying to play, the fact that he wants to continue playing these same guys again and again. And when I'm referring to these same guys, I'm referring to players like Anthony, Maguire, when we clearly have better players and different options on the bench. In terms of that, bro, like a lot of people in the chat probably already know this, but my season's over. Like I'm done with this season. Right now, Ineos has come through as well with that 25% stake deal. That is also something that I mean, is bringing up a lot of conversations. Who's going to be the manager at the end of the season? Who's going to be around? And if we're gonna have some sort of structure in the club, because that's something that we have been lacking for a while. In my personal opinion, we should not allow our coaches to solely try to, recruit and sign players. I feel like we do need to have some sort of sporting director, some sort of structure, some sort of people who are solely focusing on their job. This guy Ten Hag, he has to coach the team, manage egos, all that stuff, right? And I'm not trying to give him credit or anything like that, but I'd rather have someone in the job whose sole problem or sole issue should be recruiting players. That's literally it. And the question is, will we get that with Ineos getting into the club? I don't know. I mean, only time is going to tell. Will this manager even be here at the club? Only time will tell. But real quick, I did want to just add in my guy Eli real quick to the video as well. This guy is my bro. Definitely shout out to Eli, bro, 100% for joining in. I know I was talking about the whole United thing, but since you are here, we're definitely gonna get your thoughts about this Arsenal game real quick. So tell me, man, what's going on? What's going on with Arsenal Football Club at the moment, bro? I think you're
Yo,
muted.
mute, bro.
Yeah, you're good.
Brother, man. Big up to you, Shik. Big up, Will. Appreciate you for having me on. First and foremost, I had to get that out the way. Now,
Here we go.
get this Lego head out my club ASAP. ASAP. I don't know what his tactics are. I don't know exactly why he got the players playing the way they are, but I just know it needs to stop now. And it stops. And it starts by sacking his manager because he wasn't good enough in the first place. I told people time ago before he even got the job, I was like, no, I don't want this guy. He has no experience. I don't care if he was Pep's understudy or whatever the case may be. It doesn't mean he's actually managed a football club on his own. It doesn't mean he's actually went through his apprenticeship and actually, managed some, lower league teams or whatever the case may be. He literally got sunned into the job, essentially, if you will, parachuted into the job. It just makes no sense. And the craziest thing about it is if you were going to go with a manager that didn't have too much experience, why not go with Patrick Vieira, who was asking for the job, but he didn't even get interviewed?
Right.
And then there was Carlo Ancelotti that was out there, free as all get out, just free as a bird, but you let him get snapped up by Everton. Why?
Yeah.
Why? This club, ever since the Kroenkes took over, we just have been shite. Ever since we moved to the Emirates, we've been shite. Even before then, we were shite. And it will continue to be shite until these owners get some cojones about them and try to go out and try to win things and be ruthless, or we just get new ownership. And I'm all for getting new ownership because these guys aren't serious. Like if we were serious, we would have went big in January last year to try to go win the league. If we're serious this year, we'll try to go get an Ivan Toney. We'll try to get a Big Benz on loan or something because our attack just isn't scoring goals. You try to strengthen from a position of strength, and we just haven't been doing that. We're always one or two players short of winning anything, and it's so frustrating to see. So frustrating. And that's all I got to say about that, man. It's just not
So
good enough. Not
I
good
want to
enough.
ask you this: y'all spent like 200 million this year, right? And then, you could correct me, Chad could correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all spent like 200 million this year, right?
Yeah,
Where
that's
has
it. Yeah.
Why is it that y'all are worse this year? Do you think it's like because the signings that you've made, I know, like we'll get into the signings and like the signings and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's your opinion mainly on why you guys have gone, in my opinion, backwards as well, just like our club too?
All right. So number one, I believe that if you were going to get rid of Granit Xhaka, you should have got adequate replacement for him. Like instead of just getting Declan Rice, you should have got another midfielder on top of him. Like I would have personally went for a Paquetá, tried to do a double swoop for them, or if not him, go for Zubamendi. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude is like he can ease like the way he and the ease with which he stops play, starts play, speeds up play, slows play down would have been and he could pick a pass too. He could pick a pass. Very techie. Very position savvy. I feel like we would have got him and Declan Rice. We would have been straight. We would have been all right. But no. We spent 65 million on Havertz. That 65 million, we could have easily got Madison as well. We could have got Madison. We could have got Kudus. We're just spending it in all the wrong places. Like, yes, I'm okay. Like, I'm ecstatic that we're spending the money, but we're spending it in all the wrong places. Kind of like how United is, right? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, y'all are
100%.
spending the money, but y'all are spending it in the wrong places. Like 90 million for Anthony, that could have got you 2 or 3 players that are better than him, and that will put y'all way better than where y'all are right now. And same thing for Chelsea. Same could be said for them. 1 billion spent, but just in the wrong places. You spend that 1 billion on the right players, y'all are saucing. Y'all are probably in the title race. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like high title race. If y'all spend in the right places with 1 billion spent, that's crazy. Like, I don't know why these teams. And you know what's crazy? You know the common denominator for all of this? We all have American owners. All have
True.
American owners. It's
True.
crazy. It's crazy, bro. I'm just tired of it, man. I just want my team to be successful again,
Hey,
and
yeah, man,
it's
I
just
totally agree.
frustrating,
One thing
man.
I will say about American people, American owners, is that these guys are very good businessmen, man. They know what they're doing when it comes to the business side of things. But when it comes to actually taking care of the club, both our teams could say both our clubs could say the same thing, bro. Like the signings that we've made, everyone wants to say that we don't have money to buy these players and stuff like that. What are you guys talking about? We've spent so much money in the past couple of years trying to buy players who are not prem proven. Because I hear you on that. With the Anthony signing 90 million, we could have gotten at least 2 or 3 quality prem proven players out of that money. And what did we decide to do is put our faith into someone like him, who's just a manager signing, who came from Ajax, the same team that Ten Hag was at. And a lot of his signings have been like that too, where I question his talent ID, but then I also question um, our owners as well. Like, are there other players that we are actually trying to go for, or is this just what we put one name on that recruiting list, and we're like, all right, let's spend months into negotiations of trying to get this player over. Even let's even take and we'll get into this about the whole Sancho thing too. But even Sancho, like before Sancho joined, we were in negotiations with this guy and Borussia Dortmund for almost a year before we could sign him. And it's like we need to be now. We're this type of club where any team who wants to sell their player to us, they know they're going to get a bag off of us because we will just
Hmm.
splash that money, bro. We will just throw that money towards them. We're just so stubborn with the way that we deal with all our transfers and stuff like that there's no, and I said this before too, there's no structure, no thinking behind it. And
Hmm.
we're right now we are in this kind of problem where we want quick fixes, and that's something that I am all for at the moment too. But when it comes to the long-term planning, and people love saying, oh, this is long-term, we need to think about long-term signings. Okay, we have been thinking about long-term signings for what? How long now? And look at all these players that we still have, the likes of Tony Martial. We're talking about trying to give him an extension, and this guy said no to it. So it's like we're trying to give extensions to Lindelof and all these players. Why are these guys still at the club, man? Like we need to you look at, I'm going to take an example of Manchester City, and we're nowhere close to where Manchester City are. But when they want to get rid of a player, there's no commotion about it. There's no problem about it. They get their replacements right away. And their replacements, and you talk about, let's say, Kovacic and all these type of players too. I don't think he's probably having the best season, but that's kind of showing that, okay, you guys are still serious. Like, you guys still want to get these prem proven players, get players that might fit the whole model, and not just splash cash on anyone. Like even the whole Guardiola signing, right? How much was that? Probably around probably at least over 70 or 80 mil. But that's
Yeah,
a
it was like
quality
70 or
signing.
80. Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that's a quality signing that's showing right now that when a player like Stones or Ruben Diaz goes injured, you got Guardiola right there, there to fit into the team, and there's no drop of levels. Because just like for you guys for Arsenal, in my opinion, you guys lost the league because you had no a good backup to William Saliba last year, and y'all relied on Rob Holding for the second year in a row. And we all saw how that turned out when you guys were trying to chase the top four. and it's just proper planning is just not there, bro. And that's like I feel like what's the problem with our clubs at the moment is that one, the talent ID that these clubs are trying to go for is just not it. We don't have any sort of like recruitment when it comes to that or structure when it comes to that stuff. And then also we just splash cash at anyone and everyone, bro. Like have take a notebook, write some stuff down, go from there. Why are we just trying to like, splash cash on anybody and everyone just to try to, have these quick term fixes or long term fixes too? Our club's just in the mud, bro. And it's just like this shit's gonna continue on until these owners are here. We talk about Ineos and stuff like that. How do we know Ineos is not going to try to do the same thing? How do we not know Ineos is going to try to keep the fans happy for a year and try to get, big money signings to keep the vibes and all that stuff around the club good? And how do we not know we're going to go into the same rut that we've been in for the past like decade since we last won the league? It's been now going into 11 years since we've last won the league. And as Manchester United Football Club, that shit is just not acceptable, bro. Like we're a cash cow business now. All of this shit is just a business. Like what happened to the standards and all that stuff? And I mean, yeah, we could go on with this conversation all day, but shit gotta change, man. Like for real, for real. Like for both teams, our club, even Chelsea for a certain extent too. Like some of the signings and the dealings that they've done too is just shows that they're ready to splash the cash and they're the so-called kings of the transfer window and all that stuff. But things got to change. Stephanie Griffith says United overpaid twice, first the fee, then the salaries, which means we can't move them on. Exactly. We've got so many people on these hefty contracts of 200, 300K a week, 150K a week. Maguire was we were ready to ship off Maguire to West Ham, but Maguire probably looked at that and was like, no, I'm not going to earn that money that I'm earning here. He's earning a bag. Like last year, he didn't really play too much, but I don't really think he cared. This guy's earning literally like a bag at our club, bro. And Maguire has not been the guy for what, like 2 or 3 years now. Even in my second season when we saw Maguire, I just thought this guy's not it, like literally at all. And that's the problem that we're having with both our clubs and all our clubs at the moment is just that there's no planning, there's no recruiting. We just, it's just in the air. We do what we want. I don't know when this stuff's gonna change, bro. Like this, it's y'all have already seen me and Flawless Your shows and on Sarcasm City and other shows as well. Like I'd be rattled all the time, but I've come to a point where I've just kind of like accepted it that this is just the shit that we're in, the rut that we're in. Always gonna support the club and stuff like that, but man, like it's peak, bro. It is peak right now.
But
It's
hey,
looking long for our clubs, man.
Sheik, you said when's it going to change? Yeah, it's going to change when, well, with Chelsea and United, it's going to change when the owners put in the right people under them to do their job. Because look, they're
Right.
the people right now for Chelsea. You got Paul Stanley and the other man. They don't know what they're doing, mate. Like, I'll be real. If you're smart, yeah, with the 1 billion, you go and spend it on proven players, proven winners, instead of putting in this Epstein Island projects, man, buying up under 20s from Brazil, mate, which I'm not a fan of, mate, to send them on loan. So you got to fix up underneath the owners to get somewhere. With Eli's team, yeah, bro, I don't know what the problem is there, mate. Because sometimes it looks like you're buying players, but the wrong players, and other windows you don't buy anything. Mate, I don't know. The Cronkies,
Hey,
it's been like
let
that
me
for
just
time
say
though.
this.
Go
Let me
on.
just say this.
Go on.
Arteta is the issue. It's the issue. So he has basically had full control over the transfers. And I would say maybe 5 of the 29 players that he's signed has kicked on. 5 of 29. 29, beat that. 29 players.
Yeah.
That's that's over 2 squads worth of players.
Yeah.
Nah, but
That's
I
crazy to
think
me.
also Eli also, yeah, with the players, yeah, that I've seen. I would say like if obviously you don't want to hear it, but it's been a 4-year project so far with Arteta, yeah. The team you have now, all of the players have been signed or put on a new contract, and there's so many players in that team that should just not be there, man. Your bench is awful. Like I was eyeing up the Liverpool bench, yeah, all their youth team. It was nearly as good as the it's probably nearly as good as the Arsenal bench today, and that says a lot
Hey,
because
but
they're
the
all
bench
their.
is fixed. The bench is
So
fixed.
yeah,
It's
mate,
fixed.
you're
It's
that's
fixed.
problems, man, with that team. You can't go into a title challenging season, yeah, a title challenging season. One
Oh,
signing Kai Havertz for 60 mil, like big up Arsenal, yeah, sending us that money. Same with United with the Mount, yeah, but we'll leave that one. I'm not seeing them play. But yeah, no, with going in with that team, there's no way you're going for a title challenge with that bench, man. If one player gets injured, if Saka's gone, what? Who are you subbing in? Reece Nelson, he ain't doing the job, man. Let's have it right. The drop off's crazy from your starting player to your next up, man. And I think that's the biggest problem with Arsenal. You see today when you put out a couple youth players or academy talents, Reece Nelson and that, you ain't cooking. It's still the same problems. You're missing all the chances you get as of right now, and the quality is just lacking, man. So I don't know. There's a recruitment issue there with Arsenal, but yeah, I think all of us got recruitment issues still.
Yeah, no, like going into that too is like, bro, I don't even have to really watch all Arsenal games to know that they need a striker for the life of them, bro. Today's game proved it. You put Kai Havertz up front, and how many chances did this guy miss, bro, today? And like, I don't have to be a coach. I don't have to be like anyone who's part of all this like recruitment stuff to say that Arsenal need a striker, bro. Like Arsenal need these type of signings. Like now you can come into conversation that Arsenal need to change like damn near the whole team after today. Like that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous, 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 bro. This
Hey,
shit's
let
not
me
gonna
let me.
change until owners. Yeah, Will said it right, man. This shit's not gonna change until these owners decide that okay, let's actually try to invest right and invest correctly into this club. But which American businessman is gonna say that, bro? Like these guys know that these type of clubs are big
Cash
cash
cows.
cows businesses like that they can just chunk money out of. Let's talk about CR7 real quick. Ronaldo, right? That's my guy,
Hmm.
legend at the club. I'm never gonna boo him for all the stuff like that all that stuff that went on and stuff. Maybe things could have ended different, but guy's a legend of the club, legend of the game, bro. But why did we sign Cristiano Ronaldo? If we're being honest, do you guys know?
PR,
We signed him to sell.
PR, man.
Yeah, man,
PR.
PR.
PR, sell shirts. If we really, really look at the problems that we had in our team that time and the type of league and his age and all that stuff, that guy was not our long term or even like a short term fix. Yeah, he bagged goals for us, but long term fix that we needed a striker who's like we say this all the time, pace and power. That's the move in the league, and Prem proven the players who have gone up against the different defenses that we have in the league and stuff right now. And all of these signings right now, we've had so many Cavani, Ibrahimovic, like all these signings are just to PR, hype up the fans for one season and then go back into that same rut that we've always been in. And
Hey,
hey,
I feel like what all three of our clubs should have done was throw the bag at Tottenham and try to get Harry Kane.
Facts.
Just throw the
yeah,
bag at him. Throw the
I mean,
bag at him.
hey, it wouldn't have happened for. If anything, though, it wouldn't have happened for either of us to Eli, bro. I highly
Hey,
doubt
you
he'd
never
be the
know.
person comes
You
to us.
never know. You
But the
never
thing
know unless
is,
you throw the
they got
bag.
But they got American owners as well. So if you put down
money
140
talks,
mil
man. Money
compared to the
talks,
90 the 90
100%.
million Bayern put down compared to 140, I'm sure Joe Lewis, up there in Spurs would say, "Yo, Levy, man, we got to accept this deal, mate. I want the 140 mil in my bag." You know what I'm saying? So, you never know. But yeah, that should have been the play as well.
I'm telling you, bro.
Real quick before we continue, I did want to get into this one question. Real question from Avant. That's my guy too. Avant, hey, how you doing, bro? I know as a fan to soccer, I'm new to as a fan to soccer. Why is there such a huge difference between Premier League and MLS? Also, I'm proud of you, brother. Big steps. Thank you. Appreciate that. You guys go ahead. I'll let you guys answer this first. I gotta
No,
real
personally for me, I think the quality in the MLS for the homegrown players is a lot lower compared to what you get in the academy. For example, in the UK, so the amount of talent you get coming through is much more scarce, if you want to say so, and that when they grow up, MLS is almost like for these young talents, they'll just leave the league and go to a bigger league, and I think the MLS because it started so late, the other leagues are already developed, so you're coming into like almost like the Saudi league is what the Saudi league is now. You get some couple old talents, but the problem is the players around that. So obviously you got the marquee players in the MLS. And I think that one, if you have marquee players, you only like what max like 5 players that are good. The rest will all be American standard, and that's too low. And that's why also your national team is absolutely poor and not going to do anything in a World Cup because it's just not there. So that's what I believe, but I don't know what Eli thinks.
Yeah. So my opinions on the MLS are just like what Will said, it's the quality is poor. Like I don't even watch it, bro. It's not worth watching. I don't like to spend my time watching that dross, bro. It's absolutely horrible to watch.
Oh, you watch Arsenal
Absolutely horrible
instead?
to watch. Not
What'd
this
you
year.
say? What'd you say,
This
Will?
year, bro, I'm logging off both. I'm logging off both, man. This year's a write off.
Nah.
But yeah, so like what you said about the academy is just not is non-existent. And as you can see, all of our top players that play for the national team, they play abroad. They get sent abroad when they're young. So like what's his name? Pulisic. He went up under the German system. What's the name? Weah. He went abroad. Um Balogun, he went abroad. Like all of these young cats are going abroad because that's where it's at. That's where you're gonna get the development. That's where you're gonna get the top quality enhancement in terms of like
Yes.
tactics, how to play the game right. It's night and day in comparison. I don't know why the Americans, like we as Americans, haven't brought some of those coaches over here to try to develop our talent. But that's just too much. Like right, the pride is too much. Just arrogance, man. Arrogance, just like our managers. Arrogance.
Yeah,
A lot of it
Arrogance.
as well. A lot of it as well has got to be like it's money. It's money because the money in American football is it's not where it's at, mate. You come out here
It's
to the Europe.
facts.
Every club's got money, bro. There's no way you can be playing in the top league on artificial pitches, man. That's so poor, man. No players want to do that. You get certain people like I don't know, older guys. They won't want to even go there good that they play on artificial pitches, and I mean that just ruins the whole
Hmm.
league. So when
Oh
there's no
yeah.
money there, you can't develop it into you can't put the money back. You put the money back into your club, yeah, but it's not enough to build a whole academy, build a new stadium, like what you got in Prem levels, and that's why MLS will never probably be there. At least in the Saudi league, they're putting money towards it, but you won't ever see that in the MLS. So yeah,
True.
Nah, never.
Totally agree. I was gonna say, do you guys think it's kind of like a culture thing? Because obviously, soccer here, it well, yeah, culture thing for sure. Because a lot of the main sports that I'd say that really everyone watches here is like football, NFL. You got the NBA. You've got like stuff like UFC and stuff like that. I
Baseball.
totally agree with you guys on the fact that um, the league does need like big names to attract. That's how you create kind of that culture. If I found out tomorrow that, let's say, Jose Mourinho is going to coach a team, I might actually tune in and watch it because I'm like, okay, let me see what Jose can cook with this type of league, and just the competition and all of that stuff. It's levels different when you have a lot of like big name people, big name coaches, big name players. Obviously, in recent years, and I think David Beckham was kind of the start of of whatever the MLS is right now. A big player like David Beckham moving over from, was it AC Milan that he moved over from, or Real Madrid at that time, but moved to the LA Galaxy and kind of brought eyes with him to the MLS as well. And now you kind of see it with you've got Messi, this the one of the goats of the game, going to Miami, and then you've got Suarez and Busquets and all these other people joining as well, and a lot of other
Little
players
Barca.
that you rarely really
Little
see.
Barca, bro.
The Barca boy, yeah, the Barca boys,
saw
man.
that.
But you really rarely, like you guys said, you really rarely see players from the MLS who are kind of homegrown go on and play for big clubs, or like kind of make a statement out somewhere else, and that has a lot to do with the the strategy that they use out there, all the equipment, the turf fields, and stuff like that. Like, I think it has to do with like all of that. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
that the MLS could never try to. I'm not saying that they could never ever reach that type of like level, but it's just like at this moment, it's just not. There's no culture. There's no hype around that stuff, in my opinion. That's what I think is one of the main things for the MLS is they brought someone like Messi over to the MLS, and still people don't really like watch all these games, bro. Like no one really gives a fuck. Like, I don't give a
I don't,
fuck
I
about
don't,
it at
I don't
all.
think the views of the MLS will ever make it compared to the other sports in the US because they're just the amount of people it brings in is it's just not there. You see the NFL, yeah, it's completely different money wise. The structure of the whole league is completely different, and the amount of views it already has from the start is way more than what you get in MLS. And I think to bring in new fans is a lot harder than when you already obviously have all the fans there. So yeah,
True.
I think also the MLS, just the quality of players that they try to bring in are just so poor. You see people like washed up Jermaine Defoe's going out there and stuff like that. No one's trying to see that, and
Retirement
no
league.
one no Americans really know who they are unless they support that team that he's played for before. So you're not gonna bring many new viewers. And yeah, Messi obviously made probably a big difference in like numbers wise, but still, it's not enough, man. MLS, I don't think will ever be there just because you can't attract the right players and yeah, it's just no the talent coming through the league's just it's just not there like that.
I will
100%.
say
Do you
this
think?
though.
Yeah,
I
go
will
ahead.
say this. I'm gonna piggyback off what you were saying, Sheik. The fact that David Beckham came over here and he came back again with Inter Miami, and he's bringing in all these big name players. So that lets you know, that gives you kind of an idea that slowly but surely the wheel is starting to turn in favor of um, Americans starting to get on board with football a little bit more. Like they're
True.
they're starting to, gravitate towards it. You got more and more kids growing up, or trying to play football instead of going to play NFL or going to play basketball or whatever. Obviously, the vast majority are still gonna edge toward those because that's two of the biggest sports in America, but slowly but surely they're starting to edge towards football, and I'm loving that. It's great to see, but it's gonna take a while because we started so late in the game. We started so late, and it's gonna take time because, like Will was saying, it's a culture thing. It's more of a culture thing. It's not ingrained in our culture like NBA is, like NFL is, like baseball is, like tennis, or even tennis is a little bit bigger over here, in golf. It's not as ingrained as those sports are. So it's gonna take time. It's gonna take
Yeah.
time.
True, true, true. I mean, another point that I could, I guess, make, and Fanar actually brought this up is he says it's expensive to have your kids join an academy in the U.S. and you got to pay a lot of fees, and not everyone can afford that. I hear that too, because if you really think about the salaries that some of these MLS players make, it's barely anything, man. Like, there's not a lot of money in the league, like how there's money in other leagues, and I feel like a lot of these kids dream to obviously play abroad. Like, they don't want to. I don't think anybody has a career goal of trying to play in the MLS, or even if, let's say, they have like a boyhood club in the MLS, right? I don't think they're gonna try their best to try to play for clubs like this, because one, there's just the culture too, and then like there's no money like in this league at this moment. Like, everyone knows that the bag is abroad. You could probably go play for even, probably, I'd say, like a League One, or not a League One, like a second division English, Spain, German team. I feel like you probably still make more than what you're making here in the MLS, and
Hmm.
it's a lot of that. But I do want to bring something up. Do you guys think the World Cup that's going to be happening in America, do you think that kind of will cause a shift or change something
Oh,
in that?
100%, 100%. So
Yeah,
check
well, but
this. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
now I
Yeah.
was gonna say I think it will. I think it will make a change, but I don't know how big it was because if you look at Qatar now, I think it's done. You can't see really. I don't know how much it's done, but from what it looks like, nothing's really changed there. They brought in a couple players over the summer. I see Iniesta and stuff going Qatar and that. So if Iniesta can go to Qatar, which is like a non like no one knows about that league, no one's watching that. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. If they can draw in people like Iniesta and other talents, then I'm pretty sure the MLS can definitely take a bounce and a hit of the World Cup and grow into something more, especially viewers wise. I reckon the viewers wise, when you get all these fans going and stuff like this to the stadiums where there's like 100,000, you're gonna bring in new fans for sure. So I definitely think it'll make a change. When is it? 2020
2026.
Yeah,
26.
26.
basically the next World Cup. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not far
Yeah.
away.
Next one. Yeah.
yeah, a
It's still
couple
a
of
little
years.
far away. Go on, Eli. What are your thoughts?
Bro, so the area I live in is so I live over by AT&T Stadium, which is Cowboy Stadium, and that's one of the venues where they're going to be playing. So all of
Dallas,
the
Texas, for
highways,
everyone who doesn't
yeah.
know. Dallas. Yep.
So every area around, you know, that is getting expanded. Like all the freeways, all the highways, everybody's starting to move out here, and they're starting to invest in the areas. And I also live right around the corner from FC Dallas Stadium. And so everybody is starting to gravitate towards this area and every other area that are being that are going to be venues for those stadiums that are going to be used for World Cup. It's going to be mad, bro. Like it's going to be madness. I think it's going to do wonders. And remember, if it's already growing, the MLS is already growing, slowly but surely. I feel like within 2 years it'll have grown a lot more, and then that World Cup is just going to boost it to a level that we probably won't see again for a while. But it's going to be it's going to be great in terms for the MLS, possibly, possibly. I don't know 100% if it will kick on, but I'm hoping that it will because I feel like football is such a beautiful sport to watch, and I just want more people involved in it. That's just all I want. I just want more people involved in it, man.
Same,
Not enough people are involved in it over here,
Hear
and
that?
it's sad to see.
Mm.
same. No, I totally agree. I think the World Cup, the fact that these guys are doing this World Cup here now, is definitely going to be. I think it's going to be that shift because one, you're going to see when I was talking about money and stuff like that, you're going to see all these different players, clubs, coaches realize that one, there's actually a market in this country to watch, to watch football, to watch soccer. You're gonna see the all this stadiums and stuff like that that can host these big games. And you know I from what I know, doesn't all World Cup places have kind of like a village where they create this whole
Yeah,
like thing where all players kind of stay in one area and stuff like that. And there's all
Hmm.
these different
Yep.
activities and stuff going on regarding the World Cup. So I definitely, it's all about hosting it. And obviously they show that they won the bid, and they've provided proof that you can literally go on and host a World Cup. So 100%, I think when these people that come from abroad are going to look at the audience that we have here, also just all this, like the money that's going to be thrown into this, definitely could be something to shift the whole narrative, where you might actually see potentially more people come into this country, the likes of big coaches, big investors come into and try to invest into these clubs and try to definitely create that shift. So yeah, man, I 100% think, my bad, I 100% think that the World Cup will be a huge thing for this World Cup, for this country. And I mean, we go from there. We see how I can't lie, I'm so excited for this World Cup. Like the fact
same.
that me as a fan who lives in California, you got Eli too, who's in Dallas. We could see the likes of Kylian Mbappe playing like right in a stadium, which is like right around the corner from you, Eli, or like a couple hours away from me, like down in San Francisco. That's beautiful to see. So hopefully this is that culture, that shift that we all want to kind of see in this country. But it's going to be long still. Like it's still going to be a long journey, a long process. But
I think it'll definitely help. It's definitely gonna help for sure. But just
yeah,
I don't know how much I don't know how much you gain off it. I think it's got a lot to do with um one, the amount of fans you can gravitate to the sport as like a second favorite sport. Because obviously, I think most of America, like people like us, that if we didn't watch football, we'd be watching NFL or NBA. And so after that, you need to get like a second sport, and that could be football for a lot of people. So I think you could gravitate a lot of people to the sport, and then it can only grow from there. I think the World Cup was probably be it could really be the pinnacle or the start of that. You see the MLS start to rise.
yeah, no,
Like
100%. You see, like for an example, you see the NFL and the NBA doing shows in like games in Europe. Like it's kind of like a
Hmm.
thing now in England as well, where
those
NFL
are
teams
cold.
go every single year. Like
I used to
if
have a
I
season ticket
could,
for that.
you have a season ticket.
I did when I lived in England. I had a season ticket for the NFL, so I was 3 games a year. Wembley,
Okay,
Wembley, and somewhere else, and it
yeah.
was it was it was super. That brought me into NFL. I still watch it now. So it definitely works like that.
Cool. All right. So another thing I do want to get into before we do kind of close out the show, because I do have somewhere to be, but um, we saw the emergence of the Super League come back into the news and stuff like that. I want to hear your guys' thoughts about the Super League real quick, because I feel like
Bring it
that's kind
on.
of died down now. We haven't really been hearing much about it. I haven't really seen any like news reports of whether this is actually going to be taking place or stuff like that. But real quick, I just want to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on the Super League?
Go
Well,
ahead, Will.
I feel like Super League's gonna happen anyway. Either it be now, which obviously doesn't look likely, or it's gonna be in 30 years or something. So it's gonna happen anyway because teams are always looking, especially owners wise, always looking to make money. To make money, you need to have the best teams playing against each other. Look at the Champions League now. The quality in there in the group stage is absolutely dreadful. You got teams that should not be nowhere near the Champions League, mate. Like who wants to go and watch Young Boys versus Shakhtar Donetsk? No one's trying to turn up for that game. So like, go. What I just want to see is the best teams for the best teams. Yeah, weekly. It does bits for the club. You're gonna get all your gate receipts, your TV views, all that type of stuff. The owners make money like that, and yeah, man, I think it's just a way to move forward. You got to take a step forward, and the only way to step forward is seeing the best teams play each other week in week out. So yeah, that needs to replace the Champions League ASAP, in
True.
my
So
opinion.
are you for it? Are you for this?
I'm
You
for it.
said
I'm
you are,
for it,
right?
100%. I'm for it, 100%.
Okay. Cool. Your thoughts, Eli. What about you, bro?
All right, I'm gonna say I feel somewhat the same, but I'm gonna spin this in a different view. I feel like you should have a Champions League that's actually meant for champions, of every respective league. Not top four, not top two. If you win, then you're in. It's just as simple as that. That's how it should be. Do I feel
100%.
sorry for the smaller peeps? Yeah, I kind of feel a little sorry for them, but that's why you give them their own competition, and then that's when you insert the other competition for maybe like the second through fourth tier. That's when you insert. Like if you really want to make money off of it, then you can do that. But if you're gonna have a Champions League, you need to have the champions play the champions. That's the only way it can truly be a Champions League. So I feel like the way that UEFA's spinning this project now is they're just trying to make more money off of it. And it was crazy. The fact that they were going to introduce, more teams into the fray. And then the Super League came out and they were just like, oh, no, bend this.
Yeah.
Because they knew they were just trying to make more money off of it because the more games they have, the more money they make. They don't care about these players. They don't care about their health. They don't care about any of that. They just care about making money. Like if it ain't going into their pockets, they're not for it.
Right.
So yeah, in a sense, I'm all for the Super League. I want to see it happen
Yeah,
because
but also,
Hey,
boys, have you boys seen the new Champions League structure for next year? Because I
go
think it
on. Bring
personally,
it up. You
I
can bring
think
it up. Yeah,
I
go on.
think it personally looks absolutely terrible, man. I'm not for it at all. I think this league it's like a league. I think it's like I don't know the same amount of teams probably, and it's like
oh yeah, the coefficient. Yeah, the
yeah,
coefficient. Yeah.
it's like so every team got 8 games. You play some better teams, play some worse. I think the new Champions League format looks absolutely horrible. So I think next year is gonna be not fun, not enjoyable to watch. Champions League, I'm gonna be honest. But also with the Super League, yeah, they gotta add in the relegation, man, and the
Yeah, 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 yeah,
obviously
yeah. Facts.
that's how you
Facts.
get some of these like not smaller clubs, but smaller than the elite ones. You got like obviously, so they need to have a way to get through, and yeah. Also, I think this you need to see these clubs with multi-club models. Yeah, Girona and that. I heard they're gonna possibly not be able to play CL. I think they need to scrap this rule immediately because all these big clubs now with American owners are buying these smaller clubs. So you
Oh,
gotta scrap.
technically, Girona are not owned by Man City. They're owned by Pep's brother.
Yeah, but it's the majority shareholder, and that's where they're full. So yeah,
Yeah, I probably don't know all like the nitty bitties of all that stuff, but yeah, man. I mean, I totally agree with you guys. The Super League is something I'm all for because originally, when the original plan came out, what was it? It was just going to be like 12 clubs who were just going to compete
Yeah,
within each
no
other.
relegation, just
No
just
relegation, none of
money,
that. It's
just
just the
money.
top
12
That's
best
all it
clubs.
competing
was.
against each other. That you can kind of tell, like, okay, these guys are trying to be selfish. They're trying to. They say that it's to create competition and stuff like that, but it's no. You're trying to get ticket sales because everyone is going to
Hmm.
want to see a Real Madrid versus an Arsenal or a Chelsea versus a Barcelona, especially if it's happening like multiple times in a year. Like 100%, everyone is going to try to watch that. But this whole new revamped Super League that they're trying to do at the moment, crazy man. Like I 100% am all for it because it looks like one they heard us when the whole backlash happened, and everyone was all for it and everyone is talking about football is dead, football is dying, and stuff like that. I think they heard us and they kind of have come up with this whole revamp thing. And what were some of the other things? Didn't they say that it's going to be free to watch for like
Yeah,
Yeah,
free
yeah,
to
yeah,
watch.
yeah, yeah.
as
Yeah,
well?
free to
Like,
watch.
hey, I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for it.
Right.
I'm tired of pulling up these dodgy links, bro. I am tired of pulling them up. I'm tired of pulling up these links that have a
Hey.
bunch of just like other shit going on. I don't want to talk about it, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, man, like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, 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 yeah.
tired of tuning into a watch along, and just because I don't have like a specific stream or something, I'm way behind. So, hey, if it's free, I'm all there.
Imagine every
I'm
game's
there,
on
bro.
YouTube. Every game's on YouTube. They get that the amount of people that you bring to the sport just because it's free would make a crazy difference. Because as of
Yeah,
right now, TV subscriptions and that type of stuff is absolutely crazy. If you live in England, I'm pretty sure you need like 3, 4 different providers. like subscriptions to even watch like the Premier League, which is crazy. Like Amazon,
Yeah,
TNT Sports, and then you got Sky. Like it's crazy, man.
Sky
So
and
if
all
all
that
the
stuff.
games are free
Yeah,
on one place for everyone to access, man, I think it would make such a big improvement. So yeah,
cool. Someone did ask a question real quick. This is basically for all of us. Who do y'all think is better, Erling Haaland or Mbappe?
better in what way? You're
I think you
saying
just
if we
like
if we had to take one into our team, yeah,
yeah, like which one would you take in your team? Let's say
I
that.
would personally I would take him Mbappe. I think he offers more as like a football player. As in, I feel Haaland's great and stuff, but I think one Mbappe is gonna go further than Haaland, and two, I think if you have him on the pitch, it's more of what I would rather see as a player than in what
Yeah.
Haaland is. I think Haaland's pretty boring to watch. As much as he does all the stuff he does like perfectly, great finisher and all that. I just rather watch Mbappe play every week than Haaland.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you think Holland, like the stats and stuff that he pulled and all that, like last year and all, do you think that's just because of the team that he plays in and he's surrounded by world class players as well? Do you think that's why kind of people, I guess, are kind of like, yeah, Holland is that? Because right now the whole narrative is that when we had like the whole Messi and Ronaldo debate going on
Mm,
for a couple of years, I think people are transitioning to the fact that it's now going to be the Holland and Mbappe debate about who's the top player and all that type of stuff. I mean, me personally, I've always been an Mbappe fan. Like, when he first broke out into the scene for France, even
mm.
his Monaco days, like, and then his early PSG days, like, quality of a player. He's my perfect profile that I like in a player. I always like pacey players who've got, who are technical and got a couple skill moves and this and that, and also can just score quality goals. Like, and then he does, yeah. So Mary Jacob Vaughn does and like ask more to that question as far as who's a more elite at scoring. It's tough. It's tough
No,
because
I would definitely go with Haaland. I feel like Mbappe, you got more chance that he creates something, and that takes
yeah,
away from his finishing ability because he's not going to shoot as much, especially as he's playing off the wing, which you see mostly. He wants to play with a. You see in France, you want to play left wing with a striker in there, e.g. Benzema or Giroud or something like that. So
yeah,
I feel it takes away from his scoring, but I think Haaland's a much better player in front of goal. But
yeah. No,
I
one
think
hundred
they're both
percent.
so
It's
different qualities though. It's hard to
yeah.
compare exactly. I wouldn't even say they're the same position. I say one's a winger, one's a striker. So
One's a
it's really
striker.
hard
Yeah.
to compare. But for me, I'd definitely take Mbappe over Haaland. But it's close. It's close.
Who would you say in terms like who would you say is like kind of like a game changer between both of them? Let's
I
say
feel like
75 minutes in, it's you're what 1-0 down in a Champions League
hundred
final.
percent,
Who do you bring
hundred
up?
percent Mbappe, 100% Mbappe. It's not even close to me. I feel like Haaland, you need to create the chance for him. Mbappe will be that guy to create the chance or do it himself. And I don't
Yeah,
really see that in Haaland like that. And that's why I think you see people saying, yeah, Haaland has got a lot of tap-ins. It's just because of the chances City create for him. So
right.
he's just there to tap it in every week. That's his
Yeah,
job, man. So
because you see
yeah,
his performances in for Norway as well, and it's not that Norway doesn't have like a very very bad team. They got the likes of like Odegaard and Holland and probably a couple of other players that I'm missing out as well. But Norway, once again, didn't qualify for the Euros and also didn't
yeah,
qualify for
no,
the World Cup. Like,
no,
mad,
neither.
bro.
But they ain't good, man. I'll be real. Obviously,
Yeah,
I'm living in Scandinavia right now. They're not it, mate. Like Odegaard, I don't know. That guy is
Ghostergaard.
overrated player, mate. I'll tell you that.
It's all about that.
But
It's all about them hair flicks, bro. That's what
yeah,
he's
Hairflix,
all about.
mate. He ain't focused on the game, man. I'll tell you that. I ain't seen that guy score in a while. Last season, 15 goals in the Prem. This season, he ain't it.
I think
I heard De Bruyne's one assist away already this season from Odegaard, and he only played his first game today.
Bro, this guy came on today and had 3 assists in 15 minutes, I think. And Man City scored like I don't know if it was 3 assists or Man City scored 3 goals, but that's the difference that this guy made by just for 15 minutes, bro. Insane. Like that's obviously I don't want to compare the likes of Odegaard to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is an elite player. I think he's one of the best in the Premier League when it comes to quality. I would say he's like one of the faces of the Premier League at this moment. He's the top player. Can't really compare, Odegaard, who's someone who's still like kind of I wouldn't say newly settled, but he's still kind of finding his way because he's still he's like probably in his mid-20s. He's still a lot young. He still has a lot of football to play and elevate his game. When we think about Kevin De Bruyne, when he first got into the scene, obviously the whole Chelsea, Wolfsburg, all that whole saga he had, but he evolved, and he evolved as a player every season. He obviously played around great players as well. He's always he's had Holland now as his striker. He's had Aguero as his striker before that. So he has, like, you can always say that, yes, he plays around good players and the quality in the team is really, really good. But just in terms of, you add a Kevin De Bruyne to any other team, and I think he still produces the same that he's doing for Man City right now. Honestly, I don't know if these strikers will finish all these chances that he's going to create for them, but you can still tell that he is one of those game changers. Like, if you need to pull a goal out of nowhere and you can't break down a low block for the life of you, Kevin De Bruyne can do that. Like, he's that type of player to create those chances.
That
So,
one pass just straight over the top to
hey, just a
Haaland.
ping, bro. Like,
You're gonna see that spam this season, the rest of the season when he's back, man.
hey,
That
for the guys who play pro clubs, and me and Will play pro clubs too, that guy has all those like play styles, bro. Incisive pass, pinged pass. That guy has all of that, bro. So 100%. Like, yeah. 100%. Kevin De Bruyne, great player. But yeah, to answer your question, Avant, I think both of us would go with Mbappe as our preferred player. Just me personally, I just like that profile of a player always. But yeah, man, Mbappe's levels, bro. That guy is insane. But another question from Avant before you head out. No worries, bro. Who's your guys' World Cup favorites as far who's going to win it all? Great question. Great question. Will, I'll leave that to you first.
Firstly, don't have so much, like, I think it's I think 2 years is such a big difference. So much could change. Like, I reckon probably Mbappe's playing in a new club by then, that type of stuff. But no, I don't really know. Like, I've not looked
Real
into it so
Madrid?
much. But
Yeah.
yeah. Or Chelsea, you know what I'm saying? Come to the big boys in London.
Hey,
Nah,
okay.
but on a real, look, I ain't looked so much into the teams and stuff that's even going to be there. But off the top of my head, obviously France and England are probably the two.
Yeah.
I mean, you always have Brazil, but I don't think Brazil's all that anymore. They lost a lot of it.
No, 100%.
I'd
The
say,
thing is,
yeah, France, England
England, on paper, they
on
should
paper.
have won the Euros. They should have won the Euros. They should have been in the final of we got Warrior J. Big up Warrior J. Hey, he is taking the piss for sure. But
Hey,
yeah, going back to
Warrior,
that.
check this.
Go on.
No, I'm just changing my background. You
Oh
already
yeah, go
know,
on.
man.
But yeah,
Big up the Lego head.
going back to the World Cup. You know what it is, Avant? It's like it's a couple of things. One, obviously, like Will said it perfect. It really depends on what the team is looking like around that time of the World Cup. Because one, you could always get like these big injuries, and it happens a lot. Like poor Marco Royce has missed out on 2 World Cups. Like it was the 2014 and the 2018, right before the World Cup, in those like pre World Cup games and stuff like that. Like, yeah, man, like it has a lot to do with, one, the quality of the team, but if we are, and like injuries and stuff like that too, but if we are like bringing it down to, as of this moment, who we would say are like the favorites, I definitely say France is up there. I definitely say England is up there. I think England's team is very, very talented. The fact that Gareth Southgate cannot make these guys win a trophy,
Now he'll be gone.
it
He'll be gone
baffles
by
me.
then. He'll be gone by then. There's no
Yeah,
chance he's there
hopefully,
in
man.
2026.
Hopefully, like,
He's gone
I
after this
actually,
Euro.
I enjoy watching England. I actually kind of root for England every World Cup because
No,
obviously,
yeah, I
I'm a
hope.
United fan and stuff like that. I root for England, bro, and it's
Facts.
frustrating, so frustrating that this guy cannot. He's another one like Ten Hag at the moment. He loves playing the same players, his like friends or whatever. That
Yeah, I hope he gets binned off after 2024 Euros, mate. Like, there's no way he stays. Like, how are you playing Maguire, Calvin Phillips, Henderson? Like, that's just finished me. But also, I think new players will come through as well. So it's really
yeah,
hard to say. Like in England, yeah, you got the goalkeeper union looking absolutely terrible. But you see that James
yeah,
Trafford in Burnley,
yeah.
100% he's taken over that starting spot. So I think you'll see new players, and I think that could possibly change a lot of people's like opinions to who will exactly win. But like, it's a long time, so time will tell.
100%, 100%. All right, so yeah, any like final questions? We're basically, I do gotta head out. I'm gonna go play some football with the boys actually real quick. So I do got to head out. Any final questions though? 100%. I do want to say this. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in. I see that we are at around 30 likes. That is amazing. Thank you very, very much. Obviously, you know, if I did say something wrong or if the stream kind of does look a little bit weird, allow me, because this is just like my first video. I'm still trying to, you know, figure things out. I literally had to call Flawless yesterday and, you know, pattern some stuff out with him. But definitely, you know, I'm big on when it comes to quality and stuff like that of my content. So this is something that I will improve. If you guys think something was wrong, definitely look out for your boy and just let him know, like in the stream, that, you know, if you can't hear me properly or if like the camera cut off. I did notice also that Eli, I'm not sure, maybe something was wrong with his connection or he just left, but stuff like that does happen. Just let a brother know, and appreciate you, Will, for coming on to the channel too, bro.
No, always,
Will
bro,
is someone
always.
who's going to be a regular. I've definitely decided to make him like a regular on my channel, because me and him like literally talk about football and this stuff
Wow.
every single day. He is also Pro Club's bro. He's part of the Pro Club Sarcasm City team. Definitely check out Sarcasm City Gaming if you guys haven't already. But yeah, man, I very, very much enjoyed this. Like, everybody was asking, you know, great questions. We got into some good conversations as well. I see all my dons, my boys, like they're all here in the chat too, supporting me. So 100%, thank you very, very much for all of this. And yeah, man, I'm 100%. I'm ready to go. Like, we've gotten this channel started now. I know this is kind of gonna be like an intro about me, and I didn't really get into stuff like that, but you know, a general Q&A. I kind of tried to make it just like a intro to the channel, talk a little bit about myself, but then also just dive into everything that's going on at the moment. But 100%, thank you so much again. And is there anything you got to say, Will, before we close out?
Nah, big up. Thanks for having me on. Look forward to coming back, bro. But yeah, now's the time to go chill this Sunday and watch NFL, you know, all night, baby. Week 18. Let's go, man.
Hey, let everybody know what's your NFL team, because there's a lot of like a lot of my friends too. They watch the NFL all the time. I myself am a New York Giants fan. If you guys didn't already know, we've got a couple people in the chat who I think let's see. Well, Eli is a Dallas Cowboys fan, so hey,
Bombs.
it's look,
No,
in Dak Prescott we trust, right? But anyways,
nah,
yeah, man.
he's not it. He's what's it called? Dallas Cowboys are exactly like what do you call it? Arsenal, mate. It's always bottling it when it matters. First round of the playoffs, when it comes, they're gone. But hey, my team, right, like the team I got into is Seattle Seahawks, but I got family in Florida, so I always look out for them as well. The Dolphins, you know. I
Dolphins, yeah,
hope. Obviously, Seattle's. I doubt they make the playoffs today. I'll be real. I don't see
yeah,
Packers losing to the Bears, so I reckon. I hope the Dolphins go on a good playoff push, man. That's what I'd like to see. But hey, I'm just for NFL in general. I'm, you know, I'm focused on it, but it's not the biggest deal to me to see my team win like it is in football. You know what I'm saying?
definitely, 100%. Who's your pick to win the Super Bowl this year? Before we close out, real quick.
Hey, I'll be real. San Francisco look way too strong. The amount of people they've traded in is absolute joke, mate.
Yeah,
But I
man.
think
There's one of
yeah,
my friends in the chat. I don't know if he's still here. His name's Aquay. He's a very, very big 49ers fan. I actually went to a 49ers game this year too, when they played the Giants, my team. So yeah, man, 49ers are just different. Like,
no, that Debo Samuel McCaffrey link up is just
even Brock
too
Purdy now,
crazy, man.
bro. Like, Brock Purdy right now is showing levels. Like, they call this
Imagine
guy
you get
Mr.
yeah,
Irrelevant. This guy was
imagine you get
undrafted. Like, and
yeah,
now look at him, man. Like, he's one of probably definitely like the top five QBs in the league, at least, the least. So
yeah. But
yeah, we'll see.
the reason why it's like that is because of McCaffrey, man. If you don't have McCaffrey, that running back, it takes away all the passing options. They'll just block up their
True.
run. Or they just block up the pass. So man, it makes their team like so talented, and even their defense, man, it's an absolute joke. Like watching Seahawks play them twice a year, man, it's just painful right now. He's getting smacked up every time. So it's what it is.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So yeah, we are basically going to close out at this moment. I will be doing a video later on today. I just kind of have to figure out the time and stuff like that. Will, I'll definitely shout you for that too. It's going to be a FA Cup preview for the game tomorrow. We are playing Wigan Athletic away in the FA Cup. I will also be in Flawless's watch along. So if I haven't already said this before, definitely go subscribe to That's Me Flawless. That's the guy who inspired me to do all this stuff. Like, I wouldn't be here without him. And we're going to be doing a watch along on his channel tomorrow, and I will be there in that watch along as well, along with some other people like Eddie that I mentioned before too. Jazz is also someone who's always in, he's part of the Sarcasm City crew and all that. He's
Big
also
up,
someone
big
who
up.
supported me as well. So big up Jazz, 100%, bro. Appreciate all the love. Everyone who's shown me all the love today, definitely appreciate all you guys. Like, this type of stuff just gives me a lot of confidence to keep going on and keep doing this more. So I definitely appreciate all of that. Love all of you guys, man. And we are going to be closing out. Check out. I will be posting like a schedule for the video later today to find out more about the times. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in, man, and appreciate all the love that you guys showed once again. I can't wait to do the next video, bro. So me and Will are going to be back here again running bands. And Arsenal, hold that, bro. Hold that. Right? Hold
Facts,
that.
man.
All
Facts,
right.
bro.
Big up.
Big up, big up.